Marie de France. She is considered by scholars to be the first female French poet. We don't really know much about her, but it is speculated that she belonged to the upper class. This is because she wrote and translated texts into different languages. However, she was forced to become a nun. Marie de France used to write about different topics such as infidelity, love, fantastic creatures like werewolves that plug noses, or magical ships that take you with the love of your life. But she also talked about important issues such as gender inequality, injustice, morals, true love, truth, and the power of woman. She shows us in some of her works the battle between good and evil, possibly because she was a nun, just as she made intelligent and free female characters appear as beautiful fairies. One of the reasons she speaks of the true love could be that she didn't have the opportunity to fall in love or marry because of her obligation in the church. However, she left us a legacy that supports and encourages female power with characters who fight for their dreams, being revolutionary and innovative poet in her time.
Born in 1854, Arthur Rimbaud was a young poet that completely transformed French literature. At the short age of 21, he stopped writing poetry and vowed to never write another literary piece again. He decided to leave France and move to Africa, where he was involved in the trade of multiple products. Eventually, he started smuggling and trading weapons into Ethiopia. These same weapons aided the natives of Ethiopia in defending their homeland to stop colonization. Until today, two African countries remained uncolonized, Ethiopia among the two. Rimbaud helped Ethiopia stay true to its roots by contributing to the secret exchange of weapons. His contributions to society in Ethiopia remain relevant today after 145 years of his arrival to Africa.
Apollinaire was a Frenchman, perceived to be one of the foremost poets of the 20th century. He shattered the concept of time and space in a poem by creating calligrams, in which he crafted the words of a poem into whichever structure desired, whether it be a fountain, an eye, a bird, or any shape which he deemed appropriate for that particular poem. He was also an adamant defender of the arts, fighting for Cubism as it was barely beginning as a genre of art. Apollinaire also coined the terms Cubism and Surrealism. He was born into an aristocrat family, but dabbled in the idea of anarchism. He believed that injustice should be combated, as he testified in the defense of Dreyfusard, a Jewish man being falsely accused of treason based solely on the fact that he was Jewish. Apollinaire later fought in World War I, but died of the Spanish flu. Not only did he revolutionize poetry with his calligrams, but he went out of his way to battle injustice, anti-Semitism, and be a socially responsible person.
Jean Rosen was born on December 22, 1639. Both his mother and father passed away, and he was forced to move into his grandparents at the age of 4. When his grandfather passed away, he and his grandmother moved to Port Royal Convent. There he studied and did very well in literature. He was expected to go into law, but he went into poetry. He wrote many tragedies, but also one comedy. Through his plays, he wanted to show society and everybody else that sometimes people are self-centered, that we tend to focus more on our passions, but we tend to ignore the bigger picture. He tries to express how society then and still now focus on what they need to be happy and self-passion without realizing the consequences they might bring.
During World War II, Samuel Beckett's Irish citizenship allowed him to remain in Paris as citizen of the neutral country. He fought in resistance movement until 1942 when members of his group were arrested by Gestapo. After the war, Samuel Beckett was awarded the Croix de Gloire for bravery during his time in the French resistance. He settled in Paris and began his prolific period as a writer. As a writer, he focuses on essential elements of human condition in dark, humorous ways. This style of writing has been called theater of the absurd by Martin Esslin, referring to the poet Albert Camus' concept of the absurd. The play focuses on human despair and the will to survive in a hopeless world that offers no help and understanding.
Octave, pseudonym of Francine Marie Houet,
Born in November 24, 1694 in Paris, France. Died in May 30, 1778 in Paris. One of the greatest of all French writers, though only a few of his works are still read. He continues to be held in worldwide repute as a courageous crusader against tyranny, bigotry, and cruelty. Through its critical capacity, wit, and satire, Voltaire's work vigorously propagates an idea of progress to which people of a nation have remained responsive. His long life spanned the last years of classicism and the eve of revolutionary era. And during this age of transition, his work and activities influenced the direction taken by European civilization. Voltaire believed above all of the efficacy of reason. He believed social progress could be achieved through reason and that no authority, religious or political or otherwise, should be immune to challenge by reason. He emphasized his work of the importance of tolerance, especially religious tolerance.
Albert Camus was born in November 7, 1913. He did not meet his father because he died in World War I. When he was young, he liked playing sports. In 1930, he had to stop because he was found with tuberculosis. Before World War II, he was a journalist, and because of this job, he was able to see many articles that talked about social injustices. With this injustice led the Algerian War in 1954, where the Algerians were fighting for their independence against France. With the novels, he kept expressing those injustices. In 1957, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. With his work, he keeps on showing how we should keep fighting for our values and justice. Even now, we keep fighting for things that we consider injustices, and we should not give up.
Thank you for being